Yeah, thank you so much, Sister Sharonah, for being with us. And before I pass it on to you, I need to introduce you to our audience. You have been with us before as well, but still again, once more. So, Sister, just a moment. Sorry, many things coming up on the screen. Yeah, so, okay. So Sister Sharonah, basically, her field of service is Israel, but since many months she's here, let's not speak about Israel now. But she is a spiritual trainer with passion for social development and a lot of experience in life management skills and behavioral and spiritual counseling. And if we look at her academic career, she's worked as a senior lecturer at the Boston University. And she edited and authored a few books and articles on spiritual empowerment, social development, and healthy lifestyle, and has traveled extensively. She's also a workshop facilitator, and I'm sure we are looking forward to quite a few activities with her, which she'll be facilitating. And since 1984, it's almost 40 years now, she's been a faculty of the Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University. And she also she's also conducted many training modules, just to name a few: values in education, positive thinking, stress management, many things. And as always, before we go on to listening to her, a poem on her and also on maturity. So hold your breath, Sister Sharonah. Sister Sharonah is indeed so genuine and pure. Being truthful is indeed her true nature. Her approach in life is so very mature, so that in life she's never unsure. Her thoughts are never obscure. That's because she's got a goal for sure. She shall teach the technique of how to procure so that we get rid of feeling insecure. The Supreme Being teaches us the art of how to endure and make our life stable, strong, and secure, because Raj Yoga lifestyle is indeed the much awaited cure and the only way for success to assure. So with this, I pass it on to Sister Sharon. Thank you for joining. And as we speak, she's joining from Gyan Sarovar. Over to you.
Yeah. Well, my goodness, Manoj, you wrote that poem? This is what you do when you can't sleep at night. You get up and write these poems. I can't imagine whenever else in your very busy schedule you'd have time. So how creative and talented a facilitator we have for this whole very special kind of evening. So that's a long way of saying thank you very much, Manoj Bhai, for inviting me and for holding these conferences, research papers in action, because just recently I've really been appreciating the reality of the power of virtue, the reality of the power of virtue. So maturity is one such virtue, and there would be so many. But how much has my faith in virtue been restored? How much faith do I have that, especially in these times, with every single karmic account abounding, karmic accounts that haven't yet been settled, have I realized that the currency which pays my karmic debts is virtue. But not the kind of virtue we've been doing maybe for many lifetimes, or maybe even for a big part of this lifetime, which would be a human virtue, pretty much from the outside in, whereby your virtue is because mommy told you to be, or your priest or your rabbi or your guru told you to be. With that, as we grew up and found ourselves in environments that didn't seem to hold those same values or principles, we could have really begun to doubt the power, the value of virtues. And you know, when we come to the word maturity, I don't think there's a better word to describe what a spiritual path is all about. Because the aim of a spiritual path is to emerge the very energies of virtue from the inside out. And that's so different from what many of us might have been doing for so long. The sign that you're working your virtues from the outside in is that you're resentful when people don't appreciate how virtuous you are. And you're aggravated and irritated because they don't follow the same code of conduct. And you begin to count the number of times you perform with that virtue. And at some point, you start bargaining on some level. Why should I be mature? Why can't somebody else take the turn? Good sign that it's not coming from the inside out. It's not that divine nature that I've really come to believe we are made of, which is expressing itself. It's just a programmed, conditioned from the outside in formula for how we should be in life. So it's so lovely to take time to explore virtues. Really give some quality time, not just to understanding them theoretically from the outside in, which is important, it has its place, but also where is that energy? Because we do say qualities, virtues are energies. And those energies are not found in a piece of chocolate. Even though that piece of chocolate can give me so much happiness, happiness is also an energy, and it's not in matter. That piece of chocolate is triggering that energy which sits inside me. And a good spiritual study ultimately proves to me that I don't need the chocolate, I don't need the chocolate cake, I don't even need people, and I don't need circumstances to make me happy or peaceful or mature. It's an energy. Maturity is the result of emerging all these energies that I am made of, but somehow have gotten repressed, suppressed, buried. So here we are, spending time exploring maturity. And it's been a fabulous research up to now, for sure. I was telling Brother Manoj, I really didn't know where I could go with it after such an exhaustive research already in a first hour. But because I really do love the study of virtue, an idea did come to my mind, and I will share that with you. I have 3 very short videos. Let's take a look at them and see which one, in your opinion, best represents maturity. You've all been studying it for an hour. So now you're all very, very schooled on the subject. But before we do that, I will also ask, does anybody have any questions about what I just said or anything up to now?
So if I can request, thank you, Sister Sharonah, for being so open to having questions. So if I can request the participants who have any questions, please feel free to interact her, because that's the way she likes it. Even all the Gyan Sarovar talks which she's given, they're actually more of the facilitation workshop style. So you all can please feel free. I hope you all can unmute yourself. I just check the settings. Yeah, yes, you all can. So please feel free to interact with her. Thank you.
And to compliment Manoj by that was so sweet to remind people of the format here. But you're also quite free not to say anything. It's, just to keep the door open. And if anybody has something they want to share or ask, most welcome. And for this, the framework I'd like to give this is just let's take a minute or two of silence, just to reflect on everything that you've been hearing and see where does it sit in your own journey, in your own life. So first, before anybody says anything or asks, can we just take 2 minutes of silence? Thank you. Anybody want to share anything or say anything? I saw in the chat, one person was mentioning that, it seems to be a question, is maturity time related? Time is essential. I don't know how you all feel about that, but I don't think it is. I think it has to do with a lot of other factors, which we'll look at after these videos. Okay, so Manoj Bhai, can you put up those videos?
Yeah.
And at the end of the first one, we'll just take a 30-second pause for people to decide for themselves which of these three indeed reflect maturity the most. Okay.
So I'll play one video, wait for half a minute, another, so on. Okay, fine. So
Yeah,
they can
yeah.
get time to absorb what it is. Yeah, fine.
That's right. And you all are marking video 1, video 2, and video 3 for yourselves. Yeah, so let's hold that a moment. You're just reflecting on what you saw, and would that be the best representation of maturity and why? So no sharing now, but we will go on to the next video in a few more seconds. Yes, Manoj Bhai,
Okay,
can we see the
sure.
next one?
Yeah, yeah. Just a moment. Actually, we have trimmed that video, so
Good,
we could trim it because it was a big one. So it's just plain. Just a
good.
Nikhil bhai, are you there? Yeah, it's there. It's there. Okay. Yeah. So let me just play it. Share the screen. So this is a 2.5-minute video. So I don't think there are subtitles if you don't understand their accent, but let's see. So if you're finished reflecting on the second, should I show the third one, Sister Sharonah?
Yeah.
Okay. And this is a very brief one and a very lovely one. The loveliest of all. Just make it full screen and then play. So bear with me a minute. Yeah.
아이고. 이거 아팠다. 아이고. 이거 아팠다.
Okay, so yes, over to you, Sister Sharon.
Thank you. Okay, first of all, let's just be sure that we all saw the same thing. In this last one, with the two children, what did we see? Can somebody help me with that? What did you see physically? What was there?
Yes, come on, please unmute and speak. It will be good to hear you all.
There was an accident, that's right. We saw two toddlers, two babies. Now that's interpretation. I'm not looking at interpretation yet. Just what did we see? What happened? There was an accident.
Yeah.
I'm
One
not
child
asking,
opened the
I'm not
cupboard.
asking, hold on, sorry. I'm not asking which is your choice. I just want to understand, did everybody see the same thing? So in that third video, what exactly did we see? We saw two toddlers, babies, and there was an accident. What was the accident?
She opened the door with the one hurt the boy standing behind.
Yeah, she opened the door and it hit the other kid right in the forehead. That's right. And then what happened?
The boy started crying because he was hurt.
Boy started crying, and then what happened?
But the girl
girl
immediately
didn't-
kissed his forehead.
Gentlemen, what is that?
The girl started hugging him.
That's right. Hugging and also
Laughing.
Touching the place where
Loving
That's
it,
hurt.
And kissing, loving
Yeah.
and kissing.
loving
That's
and
right.
caring.
Loving and kissing the place he'd been hurt. That's right. That's
Yes.
what we saw. Thank you very much. And in the second one, the middle one, that was the one with this child who kept getting up and running. Can somebody help us understand what we were seeing? Accent is difficult. So what exactly were we seeing? Somebody want to try?
A temper tantrum of the boy.
Temper tantrum of the boy. Good. Someone else?
Yeah, Shanti, I feel that the two others were discussing about the child, and the child was not able to hold on to his emotions, and he was dysregulated, I feel, and yeah, and he was agitated, the child, and the two others were discussing about the child, and at the end, the child was crying, and also one of the others. She said that after punishing also, she's loving back to the child. She's saying, okay, I love you at the end.
Yeah. There's I don't know my computer. Manoj, are you hearing a sound?
Sorry, which sound?
You're okay? You don't hear a sound?
Yeah, I mean, we are hearing sound, so people can please mute yourself if you all aren't
Yeah,
speaking.
if you're not speaking, because that's very weird sound.
I can't figure out who is. Okay, no,
No.
now it's fine. Thanks. Yeah.
I hope it's not my computer. Okay, so again, no interpretations here, just what did we see? Yeah, these were two adults who were talking about how to discipline the child. And was it easy? Was the child easily disciplined?
No.
No. What was the discipline? What was the punishment? Did you notice?
They were talking
Timer.
about timer, that they will make him sit in somewhere, and based on the timer, if he'd keep repeating or spitting on the mum, and they would make
That's
him sit
right.
in somewhere, yeah, box.
There was hitting and spitting to mommy, and there was what she was calling the punishment box. And the discipline was he had to sit there for his 2 minutes or 3 minutes. But did he sit there obediently? No, he was always getting up and running out. And what did she do?
Forcing him
was
to
running
sit.
behind.
That's right. She was running after him and bringing him back to sit down. Some methods look like that for disciplining children. Okay, and in the end, it was a happy ending. It was a happy ending. He did sit for 3 minutes. Wow, I don't know what this noise is. Are you hearing a noise?
There is some noise. I don't know where it is. Even I'm trying to search. Maybe Nikhil and Sister Anu, if you can just figure out.
Yeah,
Is
I
someone-
just
I wonder if
removed
it's my computer.
unmute option. Let's see, there were few people unmuted. I muted.
No,
Let's
don't
see.
worry, Sister Sharonah, you're fine. It is just some background noise is coming because probably someone's accidentally maybe unmuted.
Okay, I just hope it's not my computer that was
No,
doing that. It
no,
seems
there
like
is some
it's mine.
background noise, a little bit. Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. And in the very first video, do you remember what that was about?
Yes, go ahead, Sister Vidhi, Reina, or Geeta, sister. You all want to say the first video?
Yes.
Yeah, Lata, sister. Okay, has raised your hand. Yeah, go ahead. Okay, we are not able to. I'm asking you to unmute. Are you able to do now?
Yeah. So I can see that one of the boys, he just rushed towards the elevator, and the elevator was then overloaded. But then nobody was ready to get down, come out of the elevator, and it was just one floor away. So
Yeah.
I feel that the person who was actually differently abled, she showed her maturity, and she thought not to use the elevator and give it the chance to other people to use, and she showed her maturity there.
Okay, that's your opinion. We're not there yet. We just want to know, what did we see? But indeed, a person differently abled herself got out of the elevator so that other people could get on with their life. Good, thank you. So that's all three. Now that we've,
Sister Sharonah, sorry,
Yes.
I think, is there some background video on in your system? Because
background
sometimes that
video,
happens.
no,
No. Okay. Because I felt it's mine, but there's nothing on because it's some noise coming from some system, from some laptop or PC. Well, then all of us are mute. So let's mute and see. It's then perfectly fine. Yeah, Geeta Ben, you wanted to say something? Okay, fine. Yeah, so please carry on, Sister Sharonah.
okay. I'm getting that noise so loud here. It really makes me feel it's in my computer. Oh, it just stopped. That's nice. Okay. Wow. Blessed silence.
It's behaving very immature on the talk of maturity.
There you go. Okay, so Manoj, can we watch all three of them again? And this time, now that we're a little bit more familiar, make your choice. Which one, in your opinion, is the best representation? They might each exhibit certain aspects of maturity, as you've understood it by now. But what do you feel is the best representation and why? That's what we're after. Okay, Manoj, let's go.
Oh, you're asking me to decide?
No, show it 3 more times. Show each one more time.
Oh my God, a lot of job to do. Okay, I have to go again. Okay, I'll go. Yeah. So just bear with me for till the time videos are coming up. Yeah, I'll just do it.
Yeah. Again,
Yes, I'll do it. Yeah.
each one could have been manifesting aspects of maturity. But in your opinion, which video exhibits the maturity to the greatest extent and why? That's what we're after, but we're just going to watch it one more time.
I'll pull out the second one.
Again, if you're choosing the first one as the best demonstration of maturity, why? Be ready to explain why. Yeah, continuing.
Now they.
I'll play the third one. Just a moment.
이거 안 팠다.
Okay, so which one best represents and why? So someone here is saying it's the third video, best representation, because there is a change in the children. So maturity suggests someone is able to instigate a change. Interesting. I would agree that maturity does involve being the first to instigate a step forward. The third, there's a tremendous amount of love. So somebody's choosing the third, saying the reason, because all of them have some aspect or another of maturity, right? But the reason here is because there's a lot of love. So maturity would be connected with an ability to express love. Anyone else?
I would pick the third one as well, because the response of the little child was instant and she's a natural. The other two, sometime they took some time to decide, oh, should I do this or that, and then they went for
There
it.
you go. There you go. Very interesting point. That
I
the
think-
third one is the choice because it was instant, as if natural, as if maturity, if it is to be coming from the inside out, like any virtue which carries power, then it would be instantaneous and natural. Very nice. Anyone else?
I
The
think
third
first one is
video-
very important, first one being a disabled person, and she took the decision, and nobody, and the body language is speaking volumes in that small place, so you can observe everyone's behavior. That nobody was willing to move an inch, and that lady took a decision to move out and let everybody go. That was great maturity behavior.
So on the one hand, like we were saying before, it's the ability to take the initiative, be the first to make things move forward. We see that there. But you were saying also that it was a decision that no one else was taking.
Exactly.
And also you were saying that no body language, I mean, no words. There was no language that
Yeah.
exhibited her maturity. It was her action, her
Yes.
behavior, and her vibration. Did you notice something interesting about that lovely lady who stepped out of the elevator?
Smile on
Anybody
her
else?
face. A
The
beautiful smile.
smile on her face at
Peaceful,
the
like
end.
very peaceful, like the way, like it was very good. Like I don't know how to express that.
So that
It was-
smile at
It's
the
a
end.
divinely grace on her face, Baba's
Mm.
love on her face, whatever it is, it was great.
Okay.
To pick on to this, Sister Senem, I'll take your sharing after I finish speaking. So I felt that smile which she gave was not a mocking thing, but she was feeling it's foolish on all these parts. It's such a small thing. No one is ready to do that. Like all of them are like small kids. That's what I felt.
Mm.
And Sister Senem, go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you, Madam. Yeah, I did like the first one too, especially her action and when she moved out.
Oh, you're breaking, sister, at least on my computer. And Manoj, can you hear her all right?
Am I okay now?
You're okay now. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I actually, I thought so too. So the first one where she just removed herself, very quiet and very humble, and just left the lift with a smile in the end. But then I think the most important thing we also learned is maturity is not about age, and that is shown in that video with the small children, where she hits with the door of the fridge the other child and immediately turns and kisses the forehead. And I think this is a very, very good video for immediate action. Thank you.
Shanti, with reference to the question which the sister asked related to the first video, that the lady stepping out of the elevator. I feel that the lady, she came out, but she took a time to take the decision. At the same time, while looking back, she was feeling that she has shown maturity. She has given up for the other people. Like she was giving a signal to the other people in the elevator. I believed. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. I think Sister Sharonah has been locked out for some reason, but she'll join soon.
She is not connected by audio for some reason. Maybe it was her
No, not
bandwidth
even
was
audio.
low.
She's not there, but she'll join soon. I'll just give her a call. And in the meantime, y'all can keep sharing if someone wants to share as well. It's a good time to share.
Dr. Manoj, I have a question to ask, like with this behavior the lady showed and the little child kissed. So it is in sanskaras, or it is they come with it, they are born with this. Like the maturity means the inner strength you have, which you come when you come to the world, or you developed it.
Okay, so wonderful, Beena Bhen. Anyone else wants to speak? The ones, you all can speak with your videos off as well, no worries. If you all want to share, ideal time to share.
Sister was asking Manoj Bhai that is it sanskar or what? The third video. Maybe she needs to answer. From Sharonah, sister. Is it a sanskar, the
Let
child
it,
heal the
she's
hurt?
here back. She's here, Sharonah, I can see. The name is there. So maybe let it come from the horse's mouth because she's, I don't know, she's logged off again, has she? Because I saw Sharonah first. Okay, maybe her internet connected.
There is some connection issue, yeah.
So we'll take this question, Sister Beena, from Sharonah, sister. And in the meantime, others can share, or you all can also chat with each other and tell the answer if you all feel appropriate to Sister Beena, her question. Yes, go ahead, Vijay Bhai. You wanted to speak? Yeah. Go ahead. I think you're cutting off, Vijay Bhai. We can hear you. Please go ahead. Okay. It's cutting off. You're cutting off. You have to just, otherwise switch off your, that's fine. Speak now.
Om Shanti, all the 3 videos showed maturity with a time factor. First video, all the people showed negative emotions by face, by anger, but nobody is taking a right action. Now the lady who had a problem or pain came out. So 2 things we understand. Sufferings bring maturity faster. And in the third video, and when she came out, she gave a drishti. Drishti made all people silent and lift went down. So things were, in the end of one maturity, made everything okay. But the best video we liked is the children video, because child did not take time with a natural kissing and kissing on forehead. So soul to soul connection became faster. So I think if we make decision fast and we are natural with a continuous meditation and develop good sanskars, we will become mature faster. Om Shanti.
So your choice is the third one? I'm sorry, but my internet just broke down. So my brother's choice was the third one.
Yes, sister. Third video is the best video.
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else?
So we had a question from Sister Beena about the third video. Sister Beena, you can ask yourself. Yeah, go ahead.
Om Shanti, sister. I just wanted to know that, we saw 3 videos and different scenarios. So I was wondering, the maturity is another name for sanskaras or environment. Like of course, when you're young, like little children, because when you teach little kids, you know that they fight fast and they make up on their own fast. So you don't even have to interfere. But the child who was showing that behavior, showing tantrums. So I don't know whether he picked up from the mother's body language or whatever it is, anger, and also he also became anger. So what I give it to you, I'll get it back, right? So I was wondering that sanskaras, the maturity sanskar is a kind of sanskara, and it comes from like by birth we bring it, or we can develop it slowly, or environment teaches us, like, I don't know, because sometimes I believe in this Western this thing. We are not open, transparent, and all. We don't speak our heart, and we have to behave like a very professionals wherever you go, like, stiff upper lip and all. So like you don't even, like, I don't know what kind of meetings go on and all. So I noticed so many things like that. So I was just wondering about it. What is the protocol of maturity?
I understand. Yeah, I understand. Okay. We don't have a lot of time left, so let me share some of my thoughts on this. First of all, as I was saying earlier, I feel that there's no better word to describe the effort of a spiritual path than this word, maturity. Because maybe overview of the concept is that I'm not reacting. I'm responding. I'm not ruled by my emotions. I have principles and I'm living by them. But from the inside out. This is the purpose of the spiritual practice, to catch what is in there, nurture it, strengthen its ability to express itself in the way I'm thinking and speaking and acting. And by that kind of effort, cultivate, fortify a divine nature. And on the spiritual path, we say that's our original nature. So maturity for me is kind of like an expression which results from activating, strengthening, and emerging what is natural and original to us. One of the reasons I also like the third video the most is something you all mentioned. It came natural, possibly because that little baby has received a lot of love. Each time she's hurt herself, she might have been kissed wherever it hurts. And so she knew that that works. So that part of her little self was already quite nurtured, quite activated, quite strengthened, so that when somebody else got hurt accidentally by something she did, natural nature, go and kiss it, show love. That's what helps. And it is by the same token that we activate and nurture what is innate in us. I might not have a physical mother who has given me that example or that kind of demonstration and experience, nor a physical father, nor a friend, nor a partner. But on a spiritual path, we have this new ways of relating to God. And I sincerely believe, I mean, this has been my experience, that the more I spend time cultivating new ways of being together with God, the more all those beautiful energies of virtue and quality are getting energized and activated and nurtured, so that more and more my natural response to people who hurt me, people who do hurtful things, people who are wrong, the natural, I think, Viviana, yeah. I think more and more the natural response for me is something much more reflective of my divinity. There's understanding, there's compassion. The first impulse more and more is caring. And yet, when all is said and done, I think it was our brother Manoj who said it way at the beginning. I think it was you, Bri, or somebody said, this is such a lovely video. The third one is so short, but it's so lovely. And when we looked at it, everybody's faces were so happy. Everybody had such a sweet expression. And I think that this is an extremely important quality of spiritual maturity. It is that the experience of it, when you're in front of a spiritually mature person, you feel like a fragrance, a sweetness. It's a very beautiful vibration, very elevated. I'm not reacting. I'm not influenced. I'm working according to elevated principles from the inside out. It's like a fragrance. It perfumed all of us, all of our faces became very sweet. And this, I think, is the hallmark of maturity as a virtue, which is growing inside us, not outside in, if you understand what I mean. And this is why the other two don't, for me, demonstrate maturity at its best, which would be spiritual maturity. Because in the elevator, I don't know what her smile was. I wonder, was she teaching them a lesson? Because truly, that spiritual maturity does not need anybody to learn a lesson, and I'm not performing in order to teach anybody a lesson. And if I ever boast about my mature response, I lose all the power of it. I don't accumulate anything, which is one of the main reasons we need to be interested in virtue and cultivating virtue from the inside out. We have severe karmic accounts, and they're paid only with this kind of virtue, virtue that doesn't want to claim any credit for its good act. So this is why, even though the first video is very powerful and very touching, I would not call it a demonstration of maturity. I would call it a demonstration of many different things, but maturity would be probably last on my list. And it's the same for the second virtue. Hardly anybody chose that as maturity. I would see it more because, like the first one, it didn't necessarily bring that sweetness into the atmosphere and that feeling of, perfume and fragrance, which true maturity does. I was at the hospital today because there's a guest who's come and they've asked me to give him the course. And so I'm taking him around a little bit. And I was at our global hospital near our campus, for those who don't know. And there's one sister there. She's in charge of a whole department, and I know her personally. We've known each other for many years. And I specifically wanted her to show this guest around the hospital. Actually, I wasn't even imagining that she would. I messaged her and I asked if there were any tours going on that the guest could join. She right away writes me, come at 4 o'clock. I'll be coming up the mountain. Our global hospital is at the top of a mountain, and I'll take him around. And she was there at the entrance to the hospital to greet us. She offered juice in her office and then tole. She asked him where he was staying, just by way of chit chat. And it turned out that she's personal friends with the owner. And so she said to this guest, is there anything that you need? And jokingly, he said, yeah, a reduction in the price, discount. She picked up the phone and right away did it. She talked to her best friend and they arranged it and he got a huge discount. And I know this sister, I watched her. I love to watch her because I know what motivates her. She knows the importance, the necessity, and the value of good actions. Give keep giving, because that comes back to us. That's an accumulation in my bank, which settles my accounts. And in some way, I feel that that's actually very connected to how we can increase our maturity or strengthen it, practice it. I think we need to be very knowledgeable about the codes of conduct of happiness. We need to be very knowledgeable about what actually makes us happy human beings. It is being patient, it is being tolerant, it is being all these things that maturity teaches us. But most of all, it's being this, not in order to teach anybody anything, and it is being this almost without thinking. Because I observed this sister at our hospital. She's not even aware of how much she's giving all the time. And certainly doesn't talk about it, nor would she ever have something to say about people who aren't like her, which is another way we just finish whatever otherwise could be accumulated. So I think what it takes, spiritual maturity, is very important knowledge about what's needed for my happiness. And again, I'm saying I have to accumulate good karma, which means giving. And it doesn't necessarily mean giving discounts to friends, sweets or juice, but this more subtle giving. Like, I have lots of patience. Let me put patience into this situation of others who are impatient and stressed out. I have lots of tolerance. Let me be tolerant here if nobody else is. It doesn't cost because it's coming from the inside out. I feel there needs to be an interest in happiness. Many of us might have given up on happiness, let alone what's required. Because to say, I'm not working from emotion, I'm working from principles and values, which are nurturing, being nurtured from within. Well, it's just kind of to say that I know well-being exists and it's in my hands. Self-awareness, always being accountable for my own stage, my own mood, never blaming, accusing, waiting for somebody else to change. This is, I think, an ultimate expression of maturity. I'm interested in happiness and I'm ready to do the work to keep myself happy, which again is just an energy. Awareness of in whose hands is my register. When I do good, I don't need people to notice it or say anything or do anything about it because my register is not in the hands of humans. My register is with God. So it's okay if people like it, don't like it, notice it, don't notice it, appreciate me or not. And then strength. We need the strength to uphold all these codes, which is, I think, something touched on throughout tonight's session that comes from a study of spirituality, walking the spiritual path, which really focuses on nurturing that very energy inside. It doesn't need to be adopted. That energy is inside, but it needs to be cultivated, practiced, experienced, and cultivated. So these are some of the things I wanted to share. And I think we're kind of running out of time.
Thank you. Actually, we have ran out of time already. So I'll request Sister Anu, if you can please do the vote of thanks, and I'll do the quick announcements. And then we'll do a closing meditation. Hope that's okay with you.
Yeah, for how long? Half a minute?
Maybe Maybe 5 minutes is okay. People can still stay. I want to thank on behalf of everyone who is listening today to you, Sister Sharonah, for leaving us thinking, actually, what is truly maturity and what is, I felt seeing the videos, what is stopping us from being mature. I think I will go into the video again. But yeah, third one was so spontaneous, natural, as everybody shared. And I loved it. As you said, we have to be interested to be happy and do the good actions that spreads only happiness, not looking for. I loved it. You said, who is holding the register? That's amazing. Thank you very much. And we all benefit very, very highly from all these sessions. And we repeatedly watch it again. We collect our points that can help us to progress spiritually. So once again, thank you very much. Over to you, Manoj Bhai. See you again soon.
Thanks. So thank you so much, Sister Sharonah, for this. And quickly, just all of you get ready with your video cameras on so that we can take the spiritual mature photograph, as Vijay Bhai always requests. So moving on with the next value of the month is adjustment. So I think it's correlating a person who's highly mature would also be highly adjustable in his behaviors with others. So we have Sudha Devi, who is the director of the Brahma Kumaris at Moscow, and that will be 17th of Feb, same timings. We will be sending you the invitations and links as always. And again, following that, the workshop. And it reminds me in Brahma Kumari's 84 figure is a very auspicious one. So we are on the 84th episode and workshop. We'll have Sister Manda with us, who is a senior Rajogi teacher from the UK, has served the Global Retreat Center at Oxford for quite a while now. And that will be the week after that on Saturday, 24th. And then we end up, as always, the end of the month, we finish with the silence retreat on the same value, that's adjustment. And this is a beautiful calendar, which is there as a display picture DP on the WhatsApp group of online valuable angels and the Bhakti group. So anyone who's interested to be a part of these, please let us know your WhatsApp numbers as well. These are our websites and email addresses and the links for the episodes and the workshop talks as well. So with this, I'll just stop sharing the screen, and if you all can quickly just, Anu sister, take the photograph and then we'll go in a meditation mode. Yeah.
Right. We always love these photographs, these very special moments we get with our seniors. So everybody, I still give you a few more seconds. So just give me a minute. Yeah. Okay, one more minute. Is everybody ready? Yeah, beautiful smiles. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I got the photo and we can share it with Sharonah's sister. We memorize this moment always with our sweet seniors who give us so much wisdom. Thank you. Got it.
Over to Sister Sharonah for the closing meditation. Do you want to just give drishti or some commentary, whatever?
A little bit of commentary, maybe.
Okay, sure.
One of the greatest joys of a spiritual experience is to discover that there is a place inside me which is made of a singular wavelength. So much of me inside might be a confusion of different frequencies, different wavelengths, fears, doubts, hesitations, insecurities move around a large part of me in an inner world, often drowning in too many varieties of frequencies and wavelengths of energy. And yet, I can move into a space as if just above all those mixed varieties, as if just above there's a singular wavelength, which is so simple, so clean, so clear. And as I place myself on that singular wavelength inside, but above all the chaotic wavelengths below, I really feel myself distancing, separating from all that lower kind of energy. And I'm coming into this gloriously singular wavelength. So simple, so peaceful, and gentle. And I discover that this is much more than a wavelength. It's as if it's a whole dimension carrying me into a world completely made of this same singular wavelength of gentle quiet and peace. And it's as if I enter God's world, which is so charged with the singularity of this one wavelength, peace, peace. And like the color white, I
think she's froze again, so I think we can end it. So
Yeah,
thank you
I
so
think
much
the
for
internet.
Yeah. Well, it's happened in the right time. Okay, so thank you so much, all of you, and see you all next
Thank
week.
you, everyone. See you again next week. Bye. Om Shanti.